And my dad always has a funny thing where he says stories get embellished. Well, nobody could embellish a story more than my grandfather. He would take a 30-second story and make it into an hour and a half. It was amazing. And within that story, there were 7 other stories about growing up in Brooklyn, or what it was like during World War II, or just, some great advice and given to you in a fable. And that is priceless.
I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what
I don't really want to take anything for granted. But you get busy and life gets cluttered and fast, and sometimes you forget to stop and smell the flowers, or in this case, spend time with people that you really care about. My son Jackson is 3 now.
Jackson Henry Flickler.
Jackson Henry Flickler? And how old are you again?
3.5.
3.5. We're lucky because one of his great-grandparents is still around to pass on some great stories, but I don't think he fully understands it yet.
Well, I don't remember most of my early years. First I remember, actually, it was 1927, I think I was 6 years old, and I was living in Brooklyn.
So we've been doing video and a lot of video interviews. And we've been lucky because we've came across a lot of very passionate people that have a lot of great stories. And they move you and inspire you and make you laugh and make you smile and make you think. And it's really great. It's great to hear these stories, and it's great to capture these stories, because once they're captured, they're timeless. They become one of your prized possessions that you can have forever.
I actually was the first female bartender in Orange County. The law had been passed for quite a few years, I think 4 or 5 years, that a woman could be behind the bar. And what I mean by that is there used to be a law in the books that you could not, a female, it sounds so stupid, a female could not bartend. You had to be on the license. Otherwise, a woman you couldn't even go behind the bar. So then they finally thought, okay, but it had been 4 or 5 years they did away with that law, but no, there was no female bartenders. And then one day, our head bartender at the Castaway Restaurant in Dana Point, he'd been there a long time, and he had a heart attack. And I used to help him on slow days, and they just said, Patty, get behind the bar. Make a long story short, I had hair down to my waist, and I was like a size 1, and the bar was full every day. And I just thought we were getting busier. To me, it was just a job, but I loved it. And then everyone who worked at that restaurant got fired for putting me back behind the bar, and then the Register did an article on the first female bartender in Orange County. And so I kept my job, and that was really history. And
we want to start offering our services to anybody that wants to preserve their family stories. We think it's so important to pass these stories down, and they're just so great. There's so many great tales of humanity and history, and maybe it's just something that happened that was really funny that you just never want to forget. So don't take it for granted. Let us come and help document and preserve your history.